If you are still debating between should you take a direct licensing process for National Dental Examination Board in Canada, or should you choose the university pathway, which is doing a DDS or DMD degree? This is a big question for so many international dentists who are trying to immigrate to North America, in USA or Canada, and they are trying to get lessons to practice here. Canada is one of the most popular destinations, and many people have been asking me this one common question: should I choose direct licensing or university DDS program? To answer those questions, I have someone who has been through both processes, and I think Hatim is going to be very informative, very awesome to answer these kind of questions. Welcome, Hatim, right here.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Sam. Hi guys, I'm Hatim Mithaiwala, and I'm currently doing DDS at Dalhousie University. You've seen me along Sam in a couple of videos, Instagram, so many feeds. So yes, we're together in the same program, and here I am on Sam's Chat Show.
That's awesome. Welcome to Chat Show Teacher Dentist. Okay, so we are going to ask him a lot of questions, and I'm just writing all these questions from what you guys have been sending me in the comments, in the YouTube channel, or via Instagram, my Teacher Dentist page. So I'm compiling all those questions. I'm trying to find out who would be the best person to answer these questions. So on that note, we are going to ask Hatim three most important questions. First, why did he choose to do DDS after he has done a master's in dental surgery?
Yeah.
Number two, was that master's in dental surgery any beneficial to you in your DDS preparation or the preparation for NDEB AFK exam? Right. And if somebody does not have a master's degree, does it affect their chances to clear this exam? And question number three is gonna be, how did you choose between direct licensing process versus the DDS, which is university pathway? It is a big question because he already cleared his AFK, his ACJ, and he was in process of clearing his ACS, but then he chose to go into the DDS pathway. So I was like, who better can answer this question, how to choose between direct licensing pathway versus university DDS program? All this info would be right here in this video after this intro. To start with, I would ask Hatim, what was your education back in your home country, which is India? And did you do a BDS or a master's program as well? Right. And how did you start your journey to immigrate to Canada?
Yeah. So I basically had a master's in prosthetic dentistry from India, and I migrated in 2018, late 2018. And when I landed in Canada, I mean, I wasn't very much aware of what the actual process would be. I had a fair bit of idea, but I did not know it in depth. Like a lot of people do a lot of research and analysis. I kind of landed in no man's land over here, but I kind of figured out my way. And you can say I was a quick learner. I realized that, oh my God, this is going to be in deep waters, and you really need to put your ace game out. So yeah, that's what it is.
Let's ask Hatim the first question. Why did you choose to study DDS in Canada after you have completed master's degree in India, and what kind of experience do you bring?
Right. So yeah, this is a very interesting question, and I can say that I do not have an absolute right or wrong answer to this. Like, if I have to be honest to you, when I landed in Canada, I did not come with an intention of doing DDS.
Okay.
Because I kind of felt that, I've already done my master's, I have X number of clinical years of experience, and I'm from a clinical branch, and I would not need it. But when I landed to Canada, and as soon as I started realizing what this entire process is about, I started realizing that, okay, I may have master in one particular subject, but I am here for doing DDS, or I am here to get a general license. Right? So that just makes me that I don't have to do only prosto. I have to do endo. I have to do oral surgery. I have to do pediatric dentistry, which I had never touched in, I don't know, since past couple of years. So I thought that it's better that I have an overall grip over dentistry and a sound knowledge of each and every branch rather than just restricting myself to my own subject. So that was one of the big motivating factors for me, that yes, I need to go and get myself some formal education from a university, and that is going to help me in the long run rather than just sticking to one subject. That was my motive, that even though I had MDS or BDS, that does not matter.
Yeah.
What matters is when you are like it is said, like when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yeah.
So when you're here,
Yeah.
do what the system expects out of you.
Yeah.
And the system, when I graduate out as a direct license, the system is going to expect out of me to do general dentistry, to ace doing all subjects or all branches of dentistry in a good way. That was my intention. That's the reason why I'm like, that's fine. I have to change my perspective.
Yeah.
I had an MDS. That's fine. That's always going to be with me. That will stay with me. But
Yep.
yes, DDS is going to give me what I want.
Okay.
That's the reason why I chose DDS.
I think that's such a perfect answer because that's what everybody's thinking. Like, oh, I have already done my master's. What would I learn in DDS? And some of my friends always pose this comment that DDS is equivalent to BDS. Then why would you step down?
DDS is not equivalent to BDS. Guys, all the folks listening to me, especially from people who are coming from the part of the world that I come from,
Yeah.
BDS is not equal to DDS. Just get that misconception out of your mind. It's not the same.
Yeah. So that was one of the best answers I have heard so far, that why did you choose to do DDS program after you have completed a master's degree? And trust me, like we all are in the school and there are so many people we know, and this come as a big learning curve. DDS for anyone is a little bit different and there is so much to learn.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah. No matter what.
Because learning is a never ending curve. You always keep learning and there is so much more to learn. And come and cherish 3 years of DDS.
Why not? If you love dentistry, if you are passionate about it.
If you're passionate about dentistry, you would definitely not regret your decision of joining DDS.
That's
for
so
sure.
true. And like those who are in dentistry, they already know that the moment you learn something, people change it. People are like, no, we are not going to do this anymore.
It's ever evolving.
Yep. And so is the AFK exam. As soon as you grab the pattern, they would just change it.
They would change it.
So coming back to AFK exam, I want to ask you this question. Since you have a master's in prosthodontics, did that give you an upper edge in the AFK exam preparation? And was that beneficial for you?
Yeah.
Or is it like something that if I'm missing, then it is not going to affect my chances of clearing AFK exam with a high score?
Yeah, again, a very good question. What I would say is I would not restrict myself to the tag of MDS in XYZ subject, be it in any subject. What I would more emphasize and focus and want to tell everyone is that it's all about your sound clinical knowledge. MDS is a way to get sound clinical knowledge. I may have that in one subject, you may have it in another subject, but that is what is the fundamental aspect of clearing this exam. Because all the 3 exams, especially the first 2 ones which are designed by NDEB, they are very, very clinically oriented exams. They want you to understand the subject. They want you to understand an approach. Whether if this situation that is there in the question would happen to you in reality, in your own practice, how would you react? What would you do? That is what is required, and that comes only with sound clinical practice. So that is what I would say is the key. It doesn't matter if you're BDS or MDS or double MDS, doesn't matter at all. What matters is sound clinical practice and sound clinical knowledge. If you have that, I mean, this exam can become easy for you. Definitely you need to find the way to crack the exam. Yeah. And of course, you will spend some time doing that and you will get to know how to crack the exam. But yes, if you have that, you have a good chance for sure.
That is such a good answer. And I always feel like, yes, you are focused in one discipline and that's great. But like when I was taking a course, I always saw those who were masters in certain discipline, they were not so lenient in accepting a new concept. Like there would always be debate. For example, if you're a prosthodontist, I give you some example on FPDs.
Yes, that happens.
But the NDEB is expecting a complete different answer. And
that's true.
Yeah.
That's only because if you go into the depths of any subject, you kind of realize that every subject, every concept is controversial somewhere or the other. Because someone has given a certain kind of research, someone has given a contradictory kind of research. I would not say contradictory, but a completely parallel approach to the same thing. And when you study a subject in depth for 3 years, you kind of know both the approaches. So it kind of brings you into no man's land where you're confused whether I should go with this approach or this approach because I know kind of both of them. But yes, most of the questions that will come in any of these exams, they are going to be directing you towards one approach. And that is what you need to understand. That is the essence of the exam, that once you start training yourself, you will understand that, from, I mean, like I can give an example. Like, for example, it happens the release set from NDEB. If you go through them, all right, a particular question may challenge you about a concept, all right. you flip pages and you come to another question, and that question indirectly will have an answer to that question.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is kind of another subtle way of the system telling you that, okay, lean towards this answer. This is the right answer.
That's true.
So, I mean, once you go into the system, you will find that definitely. But yes, I mean, all controversies have a right answer. You just have to dig in a little deep into the literature, and you will definitely find the right answer for it.
That's so true. And there are a few things like when I can think about my BDS time and what my professors told me, and then NDEB is asking complete different thing, or our DDS program.
Yes.
Our instructors would be like, no, that is the last thing you want to do. This is how we do things. So it's just it's a process when we are lifelong learners as a dentist, and we try to adapt to the new learning system.
True. That's true.
That's awesome. So in Crux, it's not really important.
It's not really the degree that matters.
Awesome.
It's what you have over here.
Yes.
I mean, if it's sound, definitely you will have an easy way out. If it's not sound, I'm not saying that it's difficult. It's just that you will have to put in a little more effort than the rest of the, rest of the group. Exactly.
So that answers, I hope that answers a few of your questions. I do receive this question a lot. That's why I'm insisting on it. That, okay, there are people like you are speaking with people who have MDS. I'm just a BDS or I'm doing my internship. How would I stand a chance?
That's true.
Yes, you do stand a chance if you have a good clinical foundation.
That's true.
That's awesome.
That's true.
My third question, Hatim, is going to be a very important one. So many people ask us how to choose between direct licensing versus DDS program. You say that you are in DDS program, so you might say that it's better. But how would someone choose between these two?
Oh, yes. That is a very difficult question. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That is brutal honesty, that till the time I landed in Canada, I actually did not knew the two paths that were available.
Okay.
To get your license in Canada. I mean, please accept, I apologize for my ignorance over here.
No.
But I only knew that someone had informed me when I was back in India that you have to go through 3 exams, and once you finish those 3 exams, you will be able to get your direct license. I wasn't even aware that what is the exam pattern of those 3 exams, what duration is going to be there. And when I landed up in Canada, that's when I actually saw that chart which is there on the NDEB website, that if you go through a university route and you do DDS, and then you can get a license and you can go through 3 exams. So let's come back to a question. I mean, it is a difficult question for sure, whether you should go for DDS or you should go for direct licensing. And whatever we've spoken till now in the interview, I would again, it's a personal choice, and it depends upon a lot of factors. If you're coming with a good clinical experience, and if you're confident of your skills, especially because you're applying for a general license, if you know your general dentistry very well, when I say very well, you should have sound clinical knowledge and you should have been having sound clinical practice for a couple of years, then it is easy for you to go through the licensing exam and set up a practice. Having said that, that also comes with a lot of challenges, because every system has its own unique way of functioning. Canada has a way of functioning, the way insurance is involved, the way a treatment approach is being done. All these things have subtle changes from the places where you've been practicing. So if you want to learn the fine nuances of handling those things, or handling a good, well-established practice, then I would say definitely going and getting a formal education will really help you go a long way. Because then what has happened is you've understood the system to its depth in a very nice, slow, intuitive learning environment. That's what DDS does to you. That's what I've been realizing. I've been in the program since 1.5 years. That is what I've realized, that this slow learning curve may help me a lot when I eventually get into my own practice. So I would say yes, DDS comes with its own disadvantages. There is going to be student debt, there is going to be time that is going to be involved for sure. But then if you think on the long run side, definitely DDS, I would say, has more advantages, because whatever your background be, whatever your knowledge be, you are just refining it, polishing it up, and getting it up to the mark, or up to what the system expects out of us in Canada as a dentist. So I would say yes, it's a tough question. It's a personal call. If you ask me, I am very happy doing the DDS program, because I can obviously have started to realize there are so many more disadvantages. And one very other important, it can be a path breaker, or it can be a game changer for some people, that once you have a DDS, that DDS is valid all over North America.
That is
so
true.
if you don't want to stay in Canada in your future, if you want to move to United States, or if you want to move to any other country, because North American DDS is valid in almost most parts of the world, except for a few corners here and there. So if that is your aim, you should definitely go for DDS.
That is an excellent answer, and I think that makes sense that after you cleared 2 exams, but you still wanted to do DDS.
Yeah, I still wanted to do DDS because I was just one step away.
Yeah.
That was my last exam.
Yeah.
All right. Situation changed. COVID happened. I kind of explored my other option as well. But then, I mean, I can say I have no regrets at all.
Wow.
No regrets.
That's awesome. And it's so different. You have clinical experience. You have so many things.
Yes.
Me, on the other hand, I practiced for 3 years after my BDS, but then I moved to Canada. I have 7 years of gap between my first practice and now.
Yeah.
So those who are like me, who are coming as an international student and then going through the AFK process and finally getting settled, PR, and then getting into the dentistry license thing, you would lose touch.
Yeah.
You are gonna forget things.
So that's the first point I mentioned. If you feel confident that you have sound clinical knowledge and experience, that is when direct license makes sense to you. If you are someone who's coming out as a fresh graduate, I would definitely say don't burn your hands or don't burn your fingers towards going towards a direct licensing, because yes, it is going to bake you, but it's going to be half baked.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
I get it.
It's not going to be you will take eventually time to get that kind of confidence to develop or to get into actual clinical dentistry over here. Okay. So it's always safe that get formal education, get your DDS. If you are a fresh graduate, you have age on your side, you can definitely spend a few more quality years learning sound dentistry and then get into practice over here.
That's awesome.
That makes sense.
So I think this answers to 2 things. First is if you have a good AFK score, because you need that to get into the DDS programs. And after that, you have to clear interviews and bench test and so many things.
Yes.
So if you do not clear that, then no regrets.
Yeah.
You can actually complete your direct licensing pathway.
Sure.
But if you can clear that, then and you are okay to learn new things and you do not have that experience background, then you should go for
sure. Yes.
I hope this was a little informative answer for all those who have been asking this question. Also, I would share a link here with Dr. Hafiz when he was answering the same question, and I think he had a similar point of view that there are more people who are getting licensed through the direct licensing process. It has a bigger number, and then you can do other things while you are working on this process. But DDS is a full-time thing. It's like 100% full-time commitment.
Right.
There is a lot of investment in it. Like we are paying around $230,000 of tuition fees only, and living expenses.
Let's not reveal that.
Some amount of tuition fees, and then also some living expenses. So you have to make that call. But my final answer would be to keep both options open.
Yeah, you should definitely keep both your options open. Having said that, again, that just points you, as you mentioned, AFK, right? So everyone should try to aim a good score for AFK. Because if your AFK is good score, your direct license path is you're still on the way. But you've opened up a parallel universe for yourself. That is, if you want to do DDS, you can definitely get into a school, because these days it's getting very competitive to get into a DDS program. You really need a good score, then your bench, then your interview. There are so many things that come onto the table to get into DDS. So of course, if it's more challenging, I hope it's more fruitful as well, right?
I hope so too, because yes, we have invested quite something in it.
Yes,
that is awesome. So staying on the same process, yes, there is a DDS pathway in Canada. Yes, there is a direct licensing pathway, but there's also another pathway, Hatim, which is doing DDS in USA, United States of America.
For sure.
Comparatively, I think there are 44 schools who are accepting international dentists in USA compared to 7 schools in Canada.
There's a big difference.
Would you not consider that option, and why not? What is the problem in considering USA for DDS programs? What do you think your outlook is?
Yes, for sure. So, I mean, you do DDS in the United States or you do DDS in Canada, it doesn't matter. It's DDS at the end of the day, and it's going to be of the equal weightage.
Equal weightage,
The only advantage of doing DDS from Canada is that since most of us migrate on a permanent resident status, what becomes easier for us is to manage the financial aspect of doing DDS. You can get a loan from a bank, from a Canadian bank, and fund your DDS over here. Whereas if you have to do DDS in the United States, what you would need is a cosigner. a co-signer to manage yourself, the financial liability that you will be getting into.
The guy
That's
who takes your guarantee.
probably the only difference. So my suggestion would be that if you have someone in the United States who can co-sign for you your financial debt, then you might as well also try for DDS in the United States, because definitely there are more options over there, and the process is kind of identical. You do a bench, you do an interview, you clear you clear your AFK, there you clear your iNBDE. That's what it is, if I'm not wrong. So you clear that exam, and you have, like, with 7 you have 44 another schools that are open for you. And if you get DDS, and I know a couple of people, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my batchmates who have done DDS, and they are doing pretty good for themselves. So yes, that is an avenue that people should explore for sure.
There is an avenue to explore for everyone who is just focusing on one exam, and that is one thing I think I've learned from Hatim today is, let's not keep our options close to one thing. Hey, I'm gonna just do DDS. I'm just gonna do direct licensing. Let's not limit ourselves. Let's try to keep the options open, because this is a very challenging exam. No matter what kind of experience you have from your home country, it is very difficult. You are competing with some of the most, like, the smartest dentists who are trying to get their license here. So it is competitive. I would say keep all the options open. Keep every single option there, so that eventually you get what you desire for.
For sure.
So Hatim, how's life overall? How do you feel? How do you like Halifax so far?
Yeah, it's as good as you can get.
That's awesome. We are excited to start our school this fall, which will be our second year, and we have a white coat ceremony.
We have a white coat ceremony coming up.
Yep, and we are super excited about it. So Hatim will be joining us for Instagram Live pretty soon. I will post the link down there, and if you have not followed me on Instagram, Teachodontist page, then please do it right away. There would be an icon somewhere down here on the video, and once you follow me, I always post a live video on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Atlantic time. So Hatim would be joining me. You can ask him a lot of questions about direct licensing versus the DDS program, or any other questions that you might have. If you have more questions, please post in the comment section below. I would try to create another video. I'll compile all the questions that you have, and maybe I can invite Hatim again with us and learn some more things.
For sure.
Before you leave, make sure you like this video, share with a friend, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.
Bye, guys.